I'm Tyler Augustine, and I come from Kansas City. Uh, I couldn't really find too many like-minded people back there, and so I ended up moving to Boulder, Colorado about 4 years ago, and it worked out amazingly. Like, everything in my life fell together, and then just as it fell together, it fell apart, and I had to move on, and that's kind of the way it is. And so now I'm out traveling, living out of my truck, just enjoying life, really enjoying nature. It fell apart because of girlfriend issues. My girlfriend, we were very connected spiritually. Like, when I was in Kansas and she was in Boulder, we were able to like send each other objects. So when we were really connected, it was amazing and beautiful. And then when I ended up moving to Boulder and living with her, I kind of closed myself off a little bit for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. But I feel like it was the right thing to do because I wouldn't be here now if I didn't. But when I closed myself off, she ended up bringing another guy home and sleeping with him in the next room so I could hear it. And I had to leave. I had to get out of there. I packed up that night and left. So now I'm out in Northern California and living out of my truck. Yeah.
Well, sorry that happened, but obviously, like, yeah, now you say now that you're doing this. So.
Exactly. I wouldn't be here now if it didn't work out like it did. Well, I grew up, like I said, in Kansas City, and I grew up very materialistic, and I was trying to hoard things. And then when I ended up moving to Boulder, I got really heavy into psychedelics, and they really showed me the path to letting things go and just being content with what you have currently, as opposed to always seeking more and always trying to accumulate more. Just being present and content. And now I live out of my truck, and I have, just what I need to survive, and I think I'm the happiest I've ever been. The best advice that I can give is listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. If your heart tells you that you should make a change in your life, then you should probably do it, because the universe, as I see it, generally guides you where you're supposed to be. And even if you're in a position where you feel like you need to change, that's still the right moment for you to be in that moment. You can never be in the wrong moment. So if you feel a pull to change your life, then you should, in my opinion. But if you don't, then you shouldn't. That's the way I see it. Abundance. Ooh. Honestly, abundance just means a lot. A great deal of, I don't really know. Abundance just is many things that come together. It's like grains of sand. Like little grains of sand come together to make a beach. I use psychedelics, like primarily mushrooms was my of choice. But they really, when I use them, I feel like I'm open to my surroundings spiritually. So like I can feel when someone is angry, or I can feel when someone is upset or happy. And so I like to be open and experience the world around me. And it really opened my eyes to a whole new world, because I felt like the whole time I was just closed off, living inside my body, when in reality the whole world is out there, and I am just as much that world as I am my body. The way I like to put it is, I'm just as much the chair that I'm sitting in as the ass that's sitting in it, or the brain that is perceiving the ass that's sitting in it. Because it takes two to tango. Like, when you walk across a room, you don't just dangle your legs in empty space. You move in relationship to something else, you know? So we're all connected in one way or another. And I feel like psychedelics really open me up to that and allow me to see the world from a new perspective. It's almost as if the world is a line and we're looking at the line from up here, and then you take psychedelics and you can look at the line from over here or over here or over here, and it's just a new perspective on the same line.
And it's like a shift back, like gloriously to see like great parts of the whole, right?
Yes, yes. You get to see, you get to step out of yourself and see that you are really just this small part that's being played in this gigantic cosmic play, for lack of a better word. love 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 is connection. Love is interaction, and in any moment, whenever you interact with something, it's also very fleeting. That moment, each moment changes, and so love is evolving and changing every second, every moment. But every time we interact and connect with our outside world, I feel like that is love. But you know, love is a high, and with every high you need a low. And a lot of people say that love is God, but I feel like God is just as much the lows as he is the highs. And love is just that high peak that is always ever changing and ever evolving. For me personally, I like Terrence McKenna. He talked about memes, and I'm not talking about the picture with the word caption underneath it. When he was talking about memes, he described them as like the basic structure of a thought. So like as the cells build up your arm, memes build up a thought, right? And so music is very influential in that way, in spreading memes. And so the more conscious the music and the lyrics, the better the world will be, I feel like, because it's important to spread loving and conscious memes rather than harmful and destructive memes. And I feel like our society and our culture, at least here in America, where I grew up in Kansas, it's very violent memes being pushed on the people. And with new music and new awakening, new artists who are sharing love rather than violence, it is definitely slowly but surely changing the world. And as far as like the music part of it goes, like the instruments and the change in the notes and everything, I feel like it's very meditative. I like to listen to music when I meditate. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. You can never make a wrong move. No matter what you do, you're always in the spot that you're supposed to be in. Even when you're feeling like you're not in the flow, that's you still being in the flow. That was what you were meant to experience in that moment. And that moment will lead you to the next moment. And it's like the whole universe is a painting, right? And each moment is a sliver of a line of that painting, and we're just progressing through it, creating the painting as we're going. But if we step back and look at it, it's a whole already. So know that you cannot make a wrong decision.
Thanks, brother.
Yes. Thank you.
Cheers, bro.